And welcome in and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. What are you having?
Oh, you know me, hanging out with Mr. Tito's. But my other favorite Mr. is you, Mr. Nick. Tell the people what you're drinking and your three things for the show.
I am drinking my Cabernet Seven Oaks Cabernet as per usual. Well, the Street Profits win the WWE Tag Team titles. Did Jon Moxley go too far on AEW Dynamite? And is John Cena justified in his hatred for the WWE fans? It is Friday, March 21st, 2025, and this is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's ready more. Stepping on a table, she don't need a dance floor. All right, good Lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. If you are new here, welcome in. Hit the old like and subscribe. If you are a regular, we love having you back. Nikki, it has been a little less than a week since we last saw and spoke with everybody. We got an action-packed show on the docket for tonight, so we are really excited. Again, live call-in show as per usual. You never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour tonight. So we are super excited. But we want to hear from all of you on what your thoughts are, what you're drinking, what you're thinking for the week in professional wrestling. But Nikki...
It made me think of Cena. It was like, you and you and you. Oh, we'll get there.
We will get there. But before we get there, we start our show with our favorite segment, our non-kayfabe news.
So last week we talked about how Backlash is not going to be, across the pond as it has been. And now the rumor is that we have the location for Money in the Bank. Rumors is it's going to be in LA. So it's interesting that it's just like St. Louis and then to LA the next month. I guess they're
staying domestic.
They're staying probably domestic until the Paris show, I guess. Because they're doing, obviously they're there now. Raw was on at 3 Eastern Standard Time. Raw's gonna be on at 4. So
was Money in the Bank last year in
Toronto.
Vegas? Oh.
It was Toronto, and I hope they rebrand because this the little spies and the orange, it did nothing for me, brother.
It was
Toronto.
Was it Spy vs. Spy? Spy vs. Spy.
Yeah, Spy vs. Spy.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because it's gonna continue that.
Money in the Bank was Toronto. The 2023 was in the UK.
Money in the Bank locations. 2024. Actually, let's see. 2024. Scotiabank, which was in Toronto, correct?
Toronto, and I think it was the UK.
Okay, so you are right with that.
In 2023.
In London, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, that's the UK. So
thanks. Is that how geography works?
That's how geography works. So again, it's in June. It'll be the Backlash after Backlash, the PLE after Backlash, and then I feel like it used to July. that it used to be in July because I remember when the Money in the Bank I went to in Philly was July.
Well, June, late
We
June,
thought
early
I
July.
saw Randy Orton win the.
Well, last year was over July 4th weekend, I believe, if I recall correctly.
That does sound right.
It was one of our favorite big shows of last year. Was Money in the Bank, which we introduced. Well, this year we are introducing the regular in the bank
No God.
concept once again. So I am super duper excited about that. So all of our regulars will get special briefcases. So for any of our topics, they can cash in and be a third host for a short 30-second period. That's kind of the concept of regular in the bank.
Rules.
Be like this.
Cashing in is money in the bank. Therefore, this will now be a triple threat match.
A triple threat topic to debate or debatable topic.
I don't know. Any early? I feel like last year, like we were clamoring for Tiffy. Any early?
Women's side, Roxanne.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Roxanne is
That's a very good shout. Mark this down. I think
yeah.
you're
I'm
right
saying
for that. I think
Roxanne
you're right.
is the woman
Yeah,
I
because
think
I didn't.
who's got the most to gain from that.
Yeah, I love the Money in the Bank on a heel, but we'll talk Money in the Bank when we get there, kids. We're still on the road to WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania, before WrestleMania is the Hall of Fame induction, and we've spoke about how Cody Rhodes went to DDP's house and to let Lex know that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Apparently, Luger is telling WWE that his number one choice to induct him would be Sting, which makes all the sense in the world. $1 million question is because he has a Legends deal with AEW. Will TK let him do this?
Oh, so there's so many topics that we could discuss because I thought about this and we could go on for a show probably in and of itself with this, but like of a talent exchange, right? Like, so what is a fair if Sting goes and inducts Luger to the Hall of Fame? What is a fair comp for that? Is it someone going like I don't know, like an active wrestler like an AJ Styles going over there for a one-off match, or like a Sheamus, someone like that, or is it a bigger name? I mean, because Sting's a huge name. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame name, like he's a huge name. So like he is the icon Sting, like one of the biggest undoubtedly one of the top 10 wrestling names of all time. So again, what value do you put on a speech and like TV time for him showing up on that? Well, I don't know. Let us know in the chat. This is a really interesting one, because what would be a fair comp if you were Tony Khan and WWE said, listen, we want Sting. We know he's a legend on Legends deal with you. We need him to induct Lex into the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania weekend. What will it take to get it done? If you're Tony Khan, what would it take for you to get?
It really would depend on what Sting's contract is, because obviously he does other signings. Does it implicitly say no WWE stuff? But could Sting also override him and be like, "F you, that's my friend. I'm doing what I want"? Yeah, well, I feel like. It's WWE's like how ironclad are the WWE legend skills? Yeah. What you are and are not able to do. Yeah, I'm assuming that they can't go to AEW. I would think that if anything, the AEW deals would be a little bit looser than the WWE deals. Yeah. Because they do all the deals at New Japan, like all the crossovers and everything else. That it's also a way of attracting talent, right? You have opportunities to earn in other promotions, right? Yeah. But also, would it leave, if Tony says no, or TK says no, Sting can't do it, would that leave a bad taste in Sting's mouth? And when his contract is up, leave. And then maybe, hey, maybe he has, he has to make X amount of appearances. Because last time he did come and save Darby. Maybe then he'd be like, hey, I want you to do this. And he'd be like, no, doesn't work for me, brother. would that strain the relationship between TK and Sting if Sting's not allowed to do this? If he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, it could. It depends how much. Yeah, I mean, how much value are they still getting out of Sting? Like, it seems like they're still getting a lot, right? But yeah, I don't know. Let's chat. It's an interesting debate. What would you do if you were Tony Khan and WWE reaches out?
That's a scary question.
Yeah.
But staying on this old school WCW train, Goldberg apparently has announced or insinuated. I feel like you brought this up, and I feel like we knew this already, that Goldberg is going to have his final match in WWE in 2025. I thought this was already like it's going to be at a Saudi show. We just don't know who his opponent is. But I could be jumping the gun. But it's been revealed. Goldberg last match 2025.
So that brings up another question. Yes, it's going to be revealed that he's having his final match in WWE in 2025. So the other question becomes, who do you want to see Goldberg compete against in his last match? Josh is already saying.
This might sound, like I was like, I don't know about this. This is not Nikki's news. He does not give a flying about Goldberg.
It's news. It was reported by WWE. It's gonna happen.
If we're going to see it again, I was talking about this on our special 316 show. But I want to put over younger talent. I want Braun Breaker to hit one of his crazy spears on him. 1, 2, 3, done. I don't think Goldberg will do that. Is it going to be like they were in like the insinuating him and Gunther, like they're like, oh, you're my favorite wrestler, blah 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 blah. Bret Hart, ha 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 ha. Like, I don't know if they're gonna go back to that. Well, like, are they assuming that Gunther's gonna drop the belt to Jay and then they can have the match at wherever?
Steve wants a Hart family gauntlet. Josh agrees with Steve.
I want Natty to put him in a sharpshooter. I want
and then Natty
taps him out. But again, I don't care. Who's not my guy. Never will be my guy. But again,
like a Braun Breaker Goldberg match would be nice. Gunther, if he had the belt, it would be nice to try and let.
No, because then he would win it, and I
don't want him to win it, but it would have been a nice other name to let Gunther get over on.
Agreed, but I think he's dropping that belt at Mania, but we'll get there. But I don't know. I hope it's. I don't know. Like the last him and Brock match was like everyone was like excited about it when he got the belt off Brock. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know it wasn't the greatest, but
yeah, I just think he's gotta and like someone watch him or put a towel where he likes to bang his head on the door because you dropped the Undertaker on his head. I will never forgive him. So someone needs to watch him so he doesn't give himself a concussion before the match. You idiot. Anywho's, I'm done. Done talking about this topic.
Fair enough. So
fun music.
Let's hit Nikki's music. And we are back. So Nikki wraps up Nikki's non-kayfabe news, but we get to our Monday Night Raw takeaways, Nikki. A lot to get to.
So much. But I am really loved that 3 o'clock time. And I was like, after Raw was over, and I was like, I have a whole night to get through. Like, it was nice. Anyway, go ahead.
It was very nice to have a little afternoon Raw, and it's going to be like that for us for the next couple of weeks here in the East Coast and pretty much in all of America, I guess, the United States. So it's going to be a real fun little couple weeks, experimental couple weeks. But Nikki on Raw,
big news.
We had to open. John Cena addresses the C Nation, the WWE Universe, his fans, but he is breaking up with us.
Are pathetic.
Nikki, what are your thoughts?
Well, he dumped us. I didn't know we were in like a weird throuple with John Cena that he broke up with everybody.
We were.
And that poor little pickle baby that was like even the kid in the front row, and they cut to this little chunker, and I'm like, leave him alone. I don't know. I think his delivery was incredible. I just feel like this was your staple heel promo that it's you people. You people did this. You people are the reason this happened. You. So, which is such a heel trope, but I feel like his delivery was incredible.
Josh is bringing up memories. He said they brought your shit and would ruin my live event enjoyment with their stupid "you can't see me" signs.
I know. But
I know what Josh is trying to say.
Go fuck yourself.
No, we when he won the Money in the Bank, when he won it at the TD Garden, like I was there, and it was just like, whoa. They told the two people I don't want to see win Money in the Bank, but it's just like, I don't know. Again, I know there's a lot of comparisons online that he said like and people freaked out. It's like I'm not a baby face, I'm not a heel, I'm a human being, and it's just kind of Roman's like I'm not a good guy, I'm not the bad guy, I'm the guy.
Well, I like how he's like you're not getting anything new out of me. Like that was like no new music, like no new look. Like you're imitating me, like you want to be me. I don't need to do anything for you. So like it's kind of neat to do it that way. Instead of rebranding him, he's just doing the same heel version of John Cena that we never see because we never saw it. So everything's going to be new. You don't have to do like a crazy amount of different, putting him in all black jorts and
that'd be terrible. So no, I think it makes sense. Like, love that he's not changing the present. He didn't say hi to Stu though when he was like, "Stu, it's time to go to work." Poor Stu. Doing that kid.
Steven's saying Dwayne's doing a Scorsese movie. I want to be in one too. Yeah, so he's going to put on his best actor hat. But overall, I mean, I thought it was good. Again, he knows if anyone knows how to play to the crowd, it's John Cena. So he let it play out for a while. There were points where I thought it might have been a little too long. Like I just thought like maybe they're just letting him drown on for a little bit too long.
Well, they went over, so
yeah, and well, he went so far, and I'm like, okay, where's he getting to? And like, all right, he's made his point, and now it's like, all right. Because like we talk about AEW, it's like don't go too long before, like everything's sunk in. Don't just blabber on and on like I'm doing right now. So then ultimately, it leads to Cody Rhodes coming out. So after getting kicked in the nuts, Cody Rhodes' response was basically stop being a bitch.
Yeah. I don't want to fight this Cena. Go find Cena. I'm not fighting this bitch. It's like,
So, Nikki, what are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes' response to John Cena after what almost seemed like?
No, and I kind of liked the promo that he did the other week when he's like, "I'm the captain now." It's like basically like you've like I don't know, like they don't owe you anything. I don't know. I didn't think this was going to like the heel Cody, base Cody, heel Cena. I feel like is working. But I don't know. Did you think his response was bad? That you wanted more from him?
I wanted to go after him. The guy kicked you in the nuts and beat you up. Like he bloodied you the last time you saw each other. Like I want to kick your ass. Like that's like that should be it. Now I'm going to talk to you, and then at WrestleMania I'm going to kick your ass. Like no, now you made it personal.
Yeah, but he did the same thing with the Rock. He was saying Mama Rhodes, and they didn't fight. I don't know. I think that's just kind of Cody's thing. That it's like, I'll see you in the ring. I think eventually, like, I probably would have.
No, he went after the Rock in like the parking lot and everything else.
I think that was it wasn't like straight away. Remember, he got beat up in the rain and he's like, that's when he was like, "Fuck your story." When he was like, "Oh, we're gonna go off air," and he's like, "No, blah blah blah." So it wasn't like that was right away. Again, we got 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
literally, it's the 20th.
But I don't know. I just wanted to see a little bit more aggression. If I get kicked in the balls, I'm pretty pissed. Like I'm coming after you, and at least gonna smack you in the face. Josh got a theory. He goes, he sounds like an angry ex you take out to dinner and try and work on things, and they just want you to know that it's your fault. And Steven says, I can confirm I've had that dinner.
Yeet. What?
Yeet.
Oh, that was Yeet.
Yeah, it was Yeet. It's a quick one.
Scared me. I don't know. I think again, you got like 3 more weeks. So let's build on this. It was our first face to face. Are they supposed to be? I think they're supposed to be face to face or not face to face next week. They're in Glasgow. Glasgow.
Yeah, they'll be. I mean, there is going to be a more build up. I just wanted a little bit more aggression.
You got more. They were scheduled for 15 minutes. They went like 20 something. 25?
Yeah, to talk. They were talking.
No. Well,
No more
no
talking.
time for talk will be done when we're in Vegas, baby, Vegas.
But
You just calm down. You gotta let it breathe a little bit. Because if you see them fight, because that's gonna be this thing when they do finally touch each other, it's gonna be like, oh, you don't want to blow your load.
they'll be cheek to cheek next week.
Well, watch out.
Yeah, get ready.
No, I think it was fine. I think you gotta slow. You gotta let this breathe. I'm not mad at it.
All right. Well, I'm impatient and I want to see more. But Nikki, let's get back to it. Raw takeaways. Any other major? A lot happened. That was the opening of Raw, so there was a lot to get through. Any other particular thoughts?
I talk about the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have feelings about this. I don't necessarily love how they're making Io look. That she's constantly getting pie-faced. And then then the power slam through power bomb, sorry. Through the thing, and when they cut, her hair got stuck in Bianca's like knee pad things, and I felt bad. But it was just like you took the belt off Rhea to put it on Io, and then you're making her look real bad when she was the champion going into Mania last year as well. So there's 2 back-to-back Mania she's going in as a champion. I don't like the pie facing thing. I don't know if did they make it official, but Rhea took the contract, signed her name, and she's like, I'm in the match now. And I'm like, yes. If Charlotte did that, everyone would lose their fucking minds. Again, love Rhea Ripley. That's
how contracts work, apparently.
That's how contracts work. And it's hard because I really like Rhea. I really want this to be a triple threat. I don't know if I love how they're getting there. I don't love how Io looks, especially in that shot. That looks fucking awful.
Well, she also did kind of wait to give her the powerbomb too, because I know you're setting up everything, so it didn't look the greatest.
Yeah.
It's like Bianca takes a headbutt and is out for like 10 minutes on the table. It's like, all right, that's
and then like, let me put my leg up.
Yeah. and then you get this.
Because I really love all 3 of them. I think all 3 of them are the top of this women's division. It's going to be an incredible match. I just don't know if I love how we're getting there.
Yeah, I just think that they didn't really have enough to do with Io, and Io's a great wrestler, and they don't know where to put her. And like with Damage Control, it's the same thing. You know, like Dakota Kai's in the mid card and doing a good job, but like
Dakota Kai.
Steve's saying Liv will do this next week as well, claiming she never got a rematch. Everyone's gonna sign the contract.
No.
Ooh, Steve.
That would be nice. But then I thought the rumor was that they're gonna have a tag match.
There's a lot of matches. Sewer rats don't.
But I don't know. Would it be crazy? Because I would really love Liv to win at Mania, to be honest. We've had that conversation before. I think
double champ.
Also,
give her a moment like
the Slammy Awards are happening after Mania, and I voted today. And my Woman Superstar of the Year was Liv Morgan. I think from her run from SummerSlam to her losing the belt to Rhea was incredible. I don't want to go down that whole side road, but like that would be nice. But again, I just feel like they're doing Io dirty right now, and I don't necessarily love it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They're like, no, Io, and I don't like her being pie-faced like that. That bothers me.
I know she doesn't look.
It doesn't look great, and like unless she walks out of Mania with the belt, which I doubt it. I don't know. I don't love it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Well, the other thing is we talk about Liv Morgan, a member of the Judgment Day, and Finn Balor earlier in the night, because they're looking at new members, calls Dom a snake. Because Dom wants to bring in Penta as the newest member of the Judgment Day. So the question is, will there be a new member of the Judgment Day? And if so, who?
Well, I believe is when my Dakota Kai was walking out. You see Dom and Karrion Kross talking in the background. So I would love Karrion Kross to come in, like worm his way in and kind of like take over. Because he's like that little whisper in your ear.
It would be nice because I think like Scarlett would, like, being with the girls would be kind of like a little like chatty cat, like catty, and like working them together and like maybe having that group. Because we talked about like the other name that I mentioned a little bit earlier, potentially when we were talking about Money in the Bank, is maybe Roxanne Perez. I don't know. Like, it'd be interesting to have a third female in that dynamic. And remember how Dom has already affected the women's division so much. So like with now a mid-card title in the women's picture, that could be something where, hey, maybe the group isn't necessarily the group on the men's scene or taking over the whole. Maybe it's a group that's on the women's side, and like if you put Carlito with them as well, that Carlito and Dom could be a tag team, and still, you keep them in the mid card. They're still productive there. I don't know. Let us know in the chat. Who would you want to see as the new member of the Judgment Day? If
I don't know, is Roxanne and Liv gonna butt heads too much? You got, two alpha females. There can only be one.
You're really upsetting Josh.
Why? What happened?
Licky, no more. She's killed me on this one. Boo. Liv Sewer Rat Morgan. I think of your double take or making her a double champion at WrestleMania.
Your boy Steven said she was gonna be in the match. I wanted the triple threat.
There's only one way to.
I'm just saying I love Liv Morgan. I'm sorry to upset you, my dear.
War games.
That's it. It's on.
Yeah, no, the one before you said Sewer Rat. He's right there. Yelling at me, you should check your boy.
Sewer Rat, yeah.
No, the one above it.
Liv.
Steven says Liv.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that'd be crazy if they made it a fatal 4-way. And now I'm making you riot.
Unbelievable.
He would never.
You're going at it.
No.
Get it.
Josh, I love you and your little rocket ship. Get out of here. But I don't know. And to be, I love it. I want them to keep flirting with this for a little bit. Because again, like there was the hug last week with their siding on each other. It, Dom was trying to help, but then this shot that Finn falls, like, is there? Because I feel like I don't want to be as long as them teasing with Terror Twins with Rhea and Priest, but I think you can build this up to Mania. Like, is it going to be like Dom Finn at Mania? That's an in-between Z match? I don't know.
It'd be really interesting to see. So, again, that the seeds have been planted, so we'll see who shows up. But, yeah, again, those are at least our takeaways for Monday Night Raw for this week. If we missed anything, you want to talk about anything else that we missed? Penta got a W. This week, I'm trying to think of what else. There's a few other matches. Braun Breaker retained, obviously.
His girlfriend lost. That's why he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, again, because American Made. Well, because the Gable group, the Chad Gable stable, they split. They went 50-50 because the Creeds won on Raw. So, yeah. Is there anything we missed that you feel was super important that happened on Raw, moving storylines or title changes, anything of those nature? Josh thinks Dom leaves and teams with LWO when Ray retires. Yeah.
I don't think we're ready. That's coming eventually. I don't think we're quite there at the Dom face turn yet.
Josh also says the promo teases, which I'm trying to think.
Are the same ones from SmackDown for Penta?
Yeah, not Penta.
Phoenix and
I think those we'll get to on SmackDown. Gable Libre, yes. So, Nikki, let's get into it.
Yeah, okay.
AEW takeaways for the week. It's gonna get.
Do you want to start with the off the bat, or do you want to start with the good?
Let's start with the good. What did you find as the good?
Well, obviously, you know, we want to be in. I don't want get out of here, John Cena. We want to be in a relationship with Toni Storm. Like that promo at the end, hysterical. She is so flipping good. I am glad we're moving away from Mariah. Like that's Fiend. Now we're moving on to Megan Bayne, and I'm a little sad it's not Chris. But then Toni cuts the really short promo, which she's getting raunchy, girl.
Everything is so raunchy about these promos now.
I know. I love it. It's just like, you know, I'm gonna make you shake. I'm gonna make your legs quake, and I'm leaving with this strap on because I am Toni Storm, and I will rip your tits off.
Yeah,
and then he rolls down the ring, and she's like, "Boy, you're a big bitch. I hear the bigger they are, the harder they come." It's like, wow, it's time for me and you to get tantric.
I know, it's raunchy to watch.
Girl. But they're, you know, and then Megan's face was just like,
Yeah. Like, so my question is Megan Bayne being set up to fail? Because she's only been in AEW, it seems like a month and a half. She's got a little bit of a winning streak. They call her the Megasis. Great look, good in the ring. I think has a lot of potential, but now she's being thrown to Toni. And instead of someone that could maybe be a credible challenger to her, is she set up to fail as just another, you know, name on the roster?
Well, I think that's everyone's risk signing with AEW, that you're just going to be a person on the roster. I think she just, you're feeding anybody to Toni at this point. Then why not put in a big new star, have, you know, Toni have a good match out of her. Again, it's someone, because the last matches we've seen her with is with Mariah, and I feel like it's such a different body, such a different way of wrestling, that it's going to be something different, which I'm here for. I think it's going to be a good match, and then Toni's going to retain. But I think no matter who you put Toni in with, Toni's going to retain. She's kind of the best thing going right now.
But why make it a new name to the company for less than a month just to come into the job? That's kind of my point, is that like you could build her up and make Megan Bayne a little bit something more than just someone who gets 2 or 3 wins, challenges for the title, you know, and loses.
But I'm thinking maybe to play devil's avocado here, are they protecting Chris Statlander? Because eventually Chris will be the one to take it off her. The start stop was Chris Statlander, because I really do like her a lot. I'm glad that her and Willow and all that bullshit's over. She's back being a face. I'm loving her new music and Tron. I think maybe this is a way to, like, she's doing this program with Megan and maybe someone else at Double or Nothing, and then maybe when they go for All Out, Chris Statlander, the Rise of Chris.
Maybe, yeah, it could be. It's a possibility.
Again, she's not losing this belt, so as you're feeding her someone, why not your big new toy?
Steve says they're waiting until Monet says so. But
I hope Athena takes that fucking belt off her. So she does nothing for me. That match, like, again, the match was great, but I don't care. Again, maybe we've been watching too much LFGs, and then there's nothing about Monet that makes you want to cheer her. Yes, I know she's incredible in the ring. That was such a good match between her and Billy. I just don't care. And if she takes that belt off Toni, talk about rioting, Mama's gonna riot.
I know you're gonna. Well, something that is not necessarily caused riots, but it's caused a little bit of an upswing in the wrestling community. Because Mox and Cope go even more extreme And Nikki, I don't know
I don't know.
if we're at this point yet, but is this the final nail in the coffin of the Mox and Cope rivalry? And what is your thoughts?
I thought you were going to a video for a second.
No, I don't have any
Because
videos
you
for this
set
from
it up
this
so
week.
nicely. No, I agree with Josh. I'm done. This needs to be it. I am done. I am done with these shitty matches. That was disgusting. Poor Renee. I don't know if that visual does enough to save Mox, to save the storyline, to save Cope. Like, it looked like Wheeler was supposed to get it out and couldn't, and then looked at Turner and was like, help.
Like, I'm screwed.
And then you just see Mox like, you're supposed to get it out by now. Like, I hated this. I hated this so much. And again, it's Wheeler coming out. It's Pac and Cesaro, Claudio coming out. And it's just like, then you have the family coming, or patriarchy coming out. I was like, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, I guess I pass out. Like,
Steve said it's the worst loofah ever.
oh my God, the jokes. But it's just like, we have to have this huge fucking schmoz. And then finally he passes out. Like, you can't even take a pin in a fucking street fight. Like, I'm like, I can't do anything. I was telling you this morning, like, it makes me, I love Jon Moxley. Really liked Edge in WWE. I don't want to see the two of them. I'm like, I'm done with you. Go away. I don't care.
Yeah. So, someone who's a big fan of people going extreme, like we said, Josh, a friend of the show, his podcast, the ECW Watch-Alongs, we know he loves going extreme. But he says, I'm a huge fan of death matches, but it's not what I enjoy. Not art, not horrifically beautiful. Yeah, it's just, it was just extreme for shock value.
Yeah, you're just,
Tony missed the opportunity getting the match sponsored by Ace Hardware.
like, I usually would be like, I feel like they are kind of slowly giving death matches a bad name. Because again, like, the death match that, like, my poor Eddie came running out to save Mox, and then nothing happened. And then it's just like the blood and guts to have the sake of blood and guts. And like this, I was like, I don't think you needed that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot, and I mean that.
And like again, like we're
probably should have been one of the pay-per-view matches, like one-on-one, like again the way maybe this should have been not Dynasty. What was the last one? Blanking on Revolution. Yeah, like this maybe should have been how Revolution should have ended, and done it that way. Maybe at the time, I don't know. Just it was just a little bit more of a shock value. Again, like not unlike a lot of things that we've seen lately with the AEW product, but I don't know. It certainly has us talking nonetheless. So I don't know. Let us know in the chat. What else do you have from AEW Dynamite Collision? If you want to talk about AEW this week, MJF might be joining up with the Hurt Syndicate. Maybe you want to talk about that. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below if we missed anything major from AEW this week.
Steven.
Steven. I don't get why everyone's complaining. I thought they nailed it.
Steven.
A little slow in that there. But yeah. So, I don't know. It was a good...
Because now, I'm hoping this is over. Mox rolled out. Him and Willow were just standing in the ring. I'm like, go, out, shoot. But at least at Dynasty, it's supposed to be, it's Mox, it's Swerve. Can you just put the belt on Swerve?
Well, they're saying that, you said it here on the show that Cope just does not want to take a pin.
You think you know me. You think you know me.
Not going to work for me, brother.
No, and he's being a real Hulk Hogan about everything. And I really fucking don't like it. Like, I don't like him right now. I was like, go, like, I'm like, get off, go. You need to go away for a little bit. And then, like, I, cheered when flipping FTR, when Dax was like, he was like, help me out, Dax. And Dax is like, bro, and walked away. And then poor Will, I feel like Willow was like, I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a lot going on. But if we missed anything, let us know. You can call in as we open up the phone lines shortly. Nikki, we got one more show in total to get through from last Friday, SmackDown. Again, big takeaways from the week. We always talk about it. Title changes. Nikki, for the second time in their careers, the Street Profits are now the WWE Tag Team Champions. Nikki, what are your thoughts on the Street Profits winning the tag team title?
Surprised how many title changes are happening going into Mania. I really did not see this coming at all.
Me either. I thought, and it still may be a fatal four-way tag team title match at WrestleMania, but hot potato. I mean, just it's so many title changes in WrestleMania season. Maybe because we talked about this a couple times, like that WrestleMania is a little bit later. Maybe I'm just noticing it more, and it would have been the normal trajectory. But it seems like there's so many more title changes. Like the U.S. and Women's Intercontinental, was that this year too? Yeah. So it seems like all within the new year, right before, or maybe not.
No, because Chelsea defended it at Saturday night's main event, the one in December, because we were at your Christmas.
Yes. So in theory, like it just feels like there's been so many title changes in this over the
new
course
titles,
of this,
title changing,
and
because when did I almost said War Machine. War Raiders win the belt.
Eesh.
That was also
I think,
was that January?
December, something like that.
I don't know. Feels like a lot.
Sorry, Josh, because I love Dark Knight, but I want to give him a wedgie and a ball tap when I see it. But yeah, like in terms of this, and now I guess they're back to being baby faces. Like they were looking like they were going to break up as a tag team at one point in time, and then like within the last 2 months. So it's just a little surprising at this point in time to me to put the belts on them. I don't think it was the right call right now. If you want to give them this moment, give it to them at WrestleMania and let them come all the way back that way. But yeah, to me, it wasn't the timing. We always talk about the timing and everything else. And like, to me, the timing was not right.
Like, are they setting this up just for the Machine Guns to win at Mania?
Maybe, but they've already won the belts. So like, that's why it's like,
I don't know. But then like, there's no, unless you're going to give it to Pretty Deadly, which I am here for, then it's just going to be another title win for whoever wins it. Unless you think Street Profits are walking out with it, but I doubt it. Like, I'm worried that they're putting it on the Street Profits just to take the belts off them at Mania. I'm like, we'll get there for our Mania predictions, but
it's a little bit of hot potato. I don't like that hot potato.
I'm like, I don't know. I can go back and forth with the hot potato stuff, but I just feel like we had like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline have belts for so long. I'm not necessarily mad at this hot potato-ness. Also, growing up in the Attitude Era, there was hot potato all the time.
I don't know. I want to see some champions with some real reigns. So I don't know. If you agree with me, let us know in the chat. Make sure you hit the old like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see what Steve says. They haven't broken up yet because they don't have a window for Angela to jump in.
True.
Yeah.
You need Miz needs to have maybe just no. I guess that's no, because that was the Jeritron.
Yeah, the Jeritron 5000.
Yeah, I was like, maybe you can get a Miztron. Who has a talk show anymore besides the Miz? Like everyone and their mom used to have one.
What's his name? A-Town Down Under's guys.
Waller.
Yeah, Waller. Morgan Waller.
Morgan
Waller's the other guy.
Morgan Waller's the singer. Grayson Waller is the
no relation.
No relation. But Grayson Waller needs to throw Austin Theory through his own window.
True. So there's a lot. Other things, a lot of destruction also happened on SmackDown last week. Tiffany Stratton went after Charlotte. We saw Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu get into it. So that kind of prefaces and leads us into a little bit of the SmackDown preview for tonight. And there's going to be probably more chaos because on Raw, Seth Rollins said he's coming to Italy, not just for the food, but to see. He's got a date of his own with Roman Reigns and CM Punk tonight. So Nikki, Punk, Reigns, Rollins, all on SmackDown. What do you expect?
I don't want to be excited about this match, but I am incredibly excited about this match. Obviously, it's gonna be the three-way. It's just like this. The stories are so interwoven, and I like really when I want to know more. Like Heyman, where does Heyman fit in all this? He was consoling Punk in the ring. They shot to Roman. Roman's like, "Oh yeah, like what's this? What's happening? What's going on?" And he's like, "Okay, I see you," and then goes in and throws him in the cage. So it's like that. Obviously, Punk and Seth have a huge thing. Obviously, Roman and Seth have a huge thing, and all the stuff that happened in the Rumble and the cage is just like this. I'm excited about this match, and I don't know. Does Roman get lost in the shuffle a little bit in the promos? Because out of the three of them, I think he's the weakest. I think it's Punk, Seth, Roman.
Yeah, but also you have Paul Heyman, and that's going to add a fourth element to this whole arc. I know. And that's what's really exciting about it, is just that you have so many great talkers in this group. And yeah, Roman might not be the end all be all and the best one, but if you pair him with Heyman.
Yeah, but where does Heyman's loyalty lie? Show me where your lover lies.
Yeah, so a lot to get to. This is going to be the big moment of the night that we're looking forward to.
Do you think this opens or closes? I hope it opens.
I think it probably closes.
Oh God! SmackDown being 3 hours feels 3.
At least as we roll through, we're going to open up the phone lines here very shortly. The other matches listed: Jade Cargill's back in action for her first match in months and months against Liv Morgan. So that's on the card. We also have, based off of last week's Destruction, Jacob Fatu, Braun Strowman. So we expect to see a lot more of the carnage from that. And finally, making, I believe, her SmackDown in-ring return, debut, whatever, Zelina Vega, Piper Niven. It's not called the Secret Service. It's now called the Green Regime.
Love it. I actually love the two of them very much. I adore Piper Niven, and I also love Zelina Vega. I love her kind of not being with the LWO anymore. I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything with her and Black. I would like her as his manager. Sir, I don't have to ask you. Have like her in NXT when Andrade was champion, and her being his manager, and their feud with Aleister Black when she gives him that Hurricane Rana. I'm like, get it. I think she's gotten a bad rap. I want to see her heel. I want to see her with a heel Black as her as a manager.
Josh says Vega poison.
No, that's what I'm responding to. I think her and this baby face, and I'm with Rey Mysterio, does nothing for her. Like her and TNA, and her as Thea Trinidad, like when she used to date Austin. I want to no. Steven, this is where I need Ed. Oh, Dirty Heels. Bobby Roode and Austin.
Oh, Austin Aries.
There we go. Aries was not in my brain. But I think she's so much better as a heel. I want to see her turn heel.
That's because it's not your sign. Your astrology sign.
No, it is not. I'm not an Aries. Any Hoosers. I think I want to see her heel. I think people will sleep on her.
I'd like to trust Nikki, but I don't know. You voted Sewer. Listen. It's where it's. So, Nikki, let's see if we can, on that note, let's see if we can get in, open up the phone lines. here. You never know who's going to call in on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. So we have the StreamYard link listed in the chat. It's also in the description for the show. You click there, go through, and brings you through to the page. Type in your name, wherever you want us to call you. And we want to know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about pro wrestling this week. So, Nikki, that's our little spiel, as we like to say here. So, as I like to say to Nikki, if I can find it in time, hit the snare, my little blondie.
Before we get into callers, I feel like we briefly kind of ran through that. I know Josh doesn't want to talk about her, but this is Jade's match first back. Like, do you think we're going to have, like, Naomi interrupt? Do you think Bianca's going to be there? Like, I don't see this being, like, a straight-up match. And then, like, where do you fit? If it is a triple threat, where does that then put Jade and Liv and Raquel? Like, do you think they are going to defend the tag belts? What's Jade going to do at Mania? Because clearly it's not the Bianca
I think
story.
Jade somehow gets into that match. I still think Jade, because that's a great way to protect Jade.
Yeah.
Put 3, 4, 5, 6 women in with her.
Are
And
they doing? I don't think they did this. Correct me, Steven. I know someone correct me below, but like, are we still doing the Andre? And then for a hot second, we had the women's thing that they called Moolah, and then I was like, we're not naming that after Moolah. She's not a nice lady. But did we do the Dre last year, or the Dre like the year before was on SmackDown? Like, is winning that?
People are writing about it, so I think there is.
With Jade winning the women's battle royal, is that something? Because her, you know, that was a whole big thing when like Cesaro won and whatever, like her being that big bitch to win that battle royal. Is that something that she can kind of hang her hat on? Because that was like the thing of when they first put the Dre out there, that it's like, oh, like Cesaro was the first one to win it. That was like Big Show, then like Baron Corbin, and like Jey Uso won one, and like what he's doing in his career. Like, I don't know. I know it's Mania season. You're just throwing people in matches so they can get that Mania payday. But I also don't want to see a bazillion, like, you know, triple threat, fatal 4-way, 6-packs just to throw all these people in. Like, it needs to make sense.
That's fair.
But, like, I don't know. I don't
know, Nikki. It's going to be...
And then also, apparently, Alexa Bliss is not in any Mania plans as of right now. Because they're doing the schedule, the schedule for, like, the like what used to be WWE Experience World, whatever. She's not... There's no time slots for her. So, like, it could change, you know, car subject to change, but she's not on any Mania stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It would be kind of interesting to look at in theory. So, yeah, I mean, it does give Jade and a bunch of people a little bit more to do, and they kind of throw some people.
I don't know. I don't see this match being clean. Or is, like, well, then is Naomi going to come out? Is that the match that Jade, like, gets her revenge on Naomi? Officially?
Could be. I don't know. Well, Nikki, you got him fired up in the chat. So,
I know. Bring it, baby.
So let's get him. He flew here so fast on that rocket ship to get here. Let's bring him in. Say his name. Josh.
How goes it, guys? How goes it?
What's going on?
What's
I
going on?
am-
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm never
Fired up.
thinking anything. I got water going on right now. But yeah, I'm fired up. That's what I am. That's this Nikki's news getting me all triggered out here, hearing all these crazy takes. But I do want to touch the what you guys were talking on the Jade subject, because I do think that's going to be one of the more interesting things of SmackDown tonight. Because it does play, like you were saying, Nikki and Nick, where does Naomi fit into this? Do we see her tonight? I'm still going with Bianca. Bianca is still behind it. I'm still going with that, even though I know Naomi has said, I've come out, I did it, it was me. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. It's too easy.
Yeah, it was both of them.
It
Like,
was both of them.
Naomi's not like she's strong, but she's not as strong as Jade. So like, it was like two people from behind, and then she just wakes up and sees it. Like, I 100% believe. Yeah, I believe it makes most sense. But the question is, does she get into this match? Like, do you put Jade into this match for that reason?
I think you could do that. I think that's going to draw things in. And here's the thing. It's going to be, like you said, the best way to put Jade out there. Because not only are you working with Bianca, you have a total control over the whole thing. And you have experienced people in there who are going to be able to highlight Jade the way she needs to be highlighted in a match. And I know we still say this about her, but we also have to think they have taken her completely out of the ring for so many months, going off of this storyline. But I want to go back to Elimination Chamber. And I want to go back to when Jade came out. Naomi did look very nervous and was like, what's going to happen? But Bianca was the most nervous, but yet she was the most safe. She's ripping off that coat. She's ready to go. Like, what's going on? But we're supposed to believe Jade is like, was her girl, her ride or die, all this. So I don't know about you, Nick, but if I've never fucked over my friends and they come out angry, ready to do something, I don't get in a defensive way. Nikki,
Right.
I don't know. You're a lady. Do ladies do that? If you guys are mad at each other and you see each other coming around, you just
hold on. Let's do it close up. Let's see if I can get it.
Oh no, do not go close up, please. Some ladies be crazy. Personally, me, no. I'm like, again, it's the same. Like, I didn't do anything. I'm not gonna sweat it. You got nothing on me. I'm just be like, what? But if you did something, you're gonna look a little nervous pants.
And that's all Bianca did in that pod up until she seen the destruction that Jade could do. Then she turned a little concerned for her friend. But I think WWE is playing off of video games, Easter eggs, things like that. And I think they're putting out these little things like that. And we should catch them, as fans. You may not even be looking for them, but go back and rewatch it. I've rewatched that clip so many times. I've Charlie Kelly'd myself into thinking where he's in the mailroom, like Bianca was right here, Naomi was over here, Jade right there. The squirrels in Philly. That's what I'm thinking. That's where I've gotten, because there's so many little things that Bianca has done in that pod. I don't know, man. And the connection with Naomi and her Rikishi, and then the whole Stone Cold thing, like there are so many things swirling in here, and it's just too easy to be like, yep, Naomi did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. Other than that, I think the women's division, top notch. I mean, I know sewer rats have their place. Everything has it.
Wait, we're Quinn so much.
Why? Yeah, I don't know why.
I've never liked her.
Well, I have to defend my people. I have to defend a Jersey girl. I have to defend her.
I fully respect that. You are standing 10 toes on something, and that's great in this day. But I'm standing on my 10 toes, and I don't like her. There's something about her. I don't know. Maybe she reminds me of somebody in elementary. I don't know. There's a lot of things just with Liv, and my whole group in your house, they're all like, why would you not like her? Like she brings fun. She's entertaining. She's sarcastic as hell.
Josh, I think I know why you don't like her.
Is your little chicken tender slut?
What?
You vegetarian, Josh?
No.
Lisa's like that with Bianca. Lisa doesn't like Bianca, and I was like, I don't get that either. I don't know.
I've heard a lot of people say that about Bianca. I'm drawing a blank on her name. She just came back at the chamber. Alexa Bliss. Yeah. I'm not a fan of her. I don't know.
You're not a blonde?
Well, no, I do. I do know with Alexa. Okay. Hers is. I think that the what's that comic character? Harley Quinn. Yeah. That is so played out because let's be honest. If you go back in comics, Harley Quinn was not this. She wasn't the badass that she is portrayed now. And I know it's a whole new universe, but the reason why because the Harley Quinn character with the Joker was so goddamn cool. In my opinion, back in the day when I was a kid, she was so cool because she was willing to be like, I'm riding and dying with the Joker, no matter what he says goes. And she was very funny in a lot of the cartoons and things like that.
That was going to be my question. What's Harley Quinn? Because me growing up animated series, it's Harley Quinn in the red and black, and the Mr.
That's
J.
The one.
And then everyone talks about Margot Robbie. I know that's very much the comic, but the pink and the blue and the daddy's girl and all that stuff. My Harley's the animated one.
That's mine too. And that's the one I miss because I think you could. And here's the thing. I don't understand. I know we're off wrestling, but I enjoy conversations with you guys. For the women out there, a comic movie that I wish they would do, because it is such a horrifically beautiful story, is Lady Death. She was such a badass in the comics, and for her to not have a movie is almost like they just spit in my face every day that I don't see this. Because go ahead.
Have you watched Agatha All Along?
No.
The Disney Plus show, because they're nodding and a wink and that she's coming.
Oh, so okay.
I don't want to spoil if you haven't watched Agatha All Along, the Disney Plus series with Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, Patty LuPone, Ledge. But there's a nod and a wink that she might be coming.
Well, I hope so, because I've been preaching about this since high school. I actually, we had a senior wall, and it was when I was a freshman in our art room, and all the seniors got to paint something. Well, since I was taking all these art classes, the teacher was like, dude, you hang out with all the seniors. We got a little section for you. So I painted a Lady Death on the wall, and it was there for like 10 years. And then they finally painted over it. And everybody was like, why would you paint her? I'm like, have you seen the story? Yeah. Like this chick, I wouldn't mess with her. Like, and I would love to watch somebody mess with her, because then she's going to just decapitate them and it's going to be funny. Yeah. But no, that's me. I'm sick like that when it comes to my comic characters. But
I hear you. Maybe it's a lot to get through, but maybe give the last couple episodes of Agatha All Along a little watch along.
Well, I'm not in the position to take advice from you, Nikki, right now. I'm still wounded. I'm still
got it.
But I will put a pin in it, like we say on my
put in your Pepe board over there.
Yeah, because he's really, listen, you're not speaking the Josh language at this.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Nick, Josh, I'm doing this for you because I got your back on this. Here's the drop.
Don't use my. Using my own drop against
Yes,
me.
yes.
Whatever.
Turn.
I absolutely love. Did you guys happen to catch Damon Wayne's recent interview?
No.
No,
So they were discussing Damon Wayne's career, and the guy speaking to him, he goes, you know who my favorite characters of yours was? And he was like, nah, who? He goes, Handyman. He goes, I know you can't do it in this day and age. Damon Wayne's, he did the imitation from then. Now, kids, anybody out there, go back and rewatch. Just go on YouTube, find it. You were going to laugh. Damon Wayne's was able to make a lot of jokes that are considered very not good today, but go back and watch it. Let me tell you, because that clip that you guys play, oh my gosh, that brings back so many childhood memories.
Honestly,
laughing.
If I could find, there's so many more. Like, what's it? The Jim is. What is the Jim Carrey? Fire Marshal Ed?
Oh,
Is it Fire
Fire Marshal Bill.
Bill.
Yes.
I want to use so many of some of those drops. Like, they're coming. And this generation, it's gonna be so funny as like this channel grows. It's gonna be so funny because the next generation has no concept of it. But you have no idea what you missed and how great it was.
Dude, I used to clip Mad TV all the time, and just like Bobby Lee's hot dog. Oh my god. That just Bobby Lee makes me laugh so much. I love that guy.
Or was the guy the Stewart? Let me do it.
Oh yeah.
Good idea.
I love that. Yeah. Those are some great things to go back and rewatch some Mad TV. I've rewatched I forget which streaming service it was on, but HBO Plus, I believe, or HBO Max. It's now Max or whatever it is. I believe it was on there. Great stuff.
Josh, so bring us back to wrestling. What else you got for us?
Well, in wrestling, I'm kind of excited about the possibility of Aleister Black coming back, whatever you want to call him. I enjoyed the Aleister Black character. And Ray Phoenix. I mean, honestly, I think right now Ray Phoenix has more of a carved out path somewhat, because obviously they're going to put him with Penta. That's money right there. You wouldn't go against that because they just work so well together. But with Aleister, it leaves questions. I mean, I know there's the Wyatt Six. There's multiple avenues. And you guys brought up Karrion Kross. I would kind of like to see those two together. If you put him and Aleister Black together, I think you got me interested in Karrion Kross then.
Like as a group or like facing each other?
Tag team going against each other. It doesn't matter. Just having them interact with each other in a bigger way than what you normally would.
It's a mixed tag match right there. If you have Black, Selena, Karrion, Scarlett. I know Scarlett's not.
Yeah, I see them going against each other more than joining up with each other. Even though, because again, those are two names that were talked about with the Wyatt Six, right? Or even when Bray came back with the Funhouse originally, they said, "Oh yeah, you might see Black," or Gacy was one of the names talked about, obviously too. But you might see these guys with them. So yeah, there's so much more. I think I lean towards Black's not. I mean, I think he's got the most charisma to lead that group, but they're not going to do it to Bo Dallas, and it makes more sense as a foil. And give me some iteration of the House of Black. Maybe you don't need to give him 3 people. Maybe you give him maybe somehow Zelina goes with him, right? As his female, and maybe you give him Braun Strowman as the big heavy against the Wyatt Six,
Eric.
Yeah, and
Rowan.
Well, yeah, but just maybe you don't need all those people, and give him that ability to just counter it, because that's a few 2 dark groups going against each other, that.
Oh yeah,
sign me up.
I could see definitely potential in that. That would be a fun thing. I mean, if I was making my personal wish list, what's that AEW team? I've seen them a few times. Is it the Righteous?
Yes, yeah, Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Okay. So I like that gimmick. I really do. I think the idea of two guys that could like control a whole group, a cult, if you will. I think you could do something that though with Alistair and Carrion in that way. I don't know. There's just something about them that I see them working together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I'm thinking maybe Far Cry type brain right now.
Carrion
I don't
doesn't
know.
have the like. It's sad because I thought like even when they first signed him and like when you see if you see any of his Impact, TNA, whatever it was at the time that he was there, like the work that he did as Killer Cross, like he has so much potential. But like in WWE, you start to see that he just had the Final Testament. Like he's not the guy to lead a group. Maybe he's the mid card guy that gets elevated because he's in the group, and that's to your point. Like yeah, like if you put him as the two to Alistair and in that group, then yeah, he eventually could build up his charisma, his persona, where you're rooting for him and making him a main event by kind of like osmosis, right? Like he's next to him and it just gets the rub organically.
You're on the same wave I am, man. We're out there just surfing in Malibu, just enjoying the waves, man, because that's a good thought. Because not only does it give us entertainment, it also guides Carrion into that what you're alluding to, you're not believing with him, to where in the future he could lead a group by himself. I mean, let's not pretend that Alistair Black is like 22 years old and he's ready to rock and roll. The dude's old. He gets injuries. He's not going to be somebody that they're going to rely on for far too long, I don't believe. I mean, just in my opinion. I don't know. I could be way out there in left field.
No, I tend to agree. Yeah, like I just think that's what the purpose of the group. Like WWE's always been, even when you look back at the Attitude, it's always been a single star driven company. The goal is to get one person over, so that even as far as like someone like X-Pac, right, in DX, like you're gonna have your own merch and whatever. Like that's the purpose, because one person individually can sell 4 times as many as a group of 4, right? You have one shirt or X amount of shirts. So like that's kind of the idea, is like eventually you're going to build up a single star. So you usually have the tag team, and that mid card guy is the person. Or now that we're in the day and age where we hope there's more female groups, it's the same idea, because now there's mid card titles and things like that. That's what I hope. I really hope, because Black has such charisma. He does. He just commands the room, like everything he did, and I just think he got like just saddled with some bad booking.
Vince didn't get him, and I'm hoping that a main controlled by Triple H, we can get that NXT Alistair Black back.
I that's what I'm hoping for. I'm an absolute fan of his. Anything that AEW put out with his face on it, I was buying. I got so many shirts of his in my collection. I was a huge fan of his, and hopefully, if it's true and the rumors are true, it'll be interesting to see where they actually go with him. So I'm looking forward to that.
I got to ask you, because you did call in, and I know I mentioned this because you are a resident hardcore extreme person. So what are your thoughts about the barbed wire spot on AEW with Mox?
Spike.
Or not barbed wire, spike spot, or nails, we'll call it. There's so much sharp objects that it gets me upset.
Well, first, that's Biss's girlfriend, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what did Lucille? No, Lucille's
that's Walking Dead.
Oh, I'm mixing up all my stuff. Janice.
Yeah, that's Janice, right?
Yeah, that's it. Got that one. There we go.
So,
well done.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. What he did, that spot, I'm not a fan of it. It's too much. It's way too much. And I'm somebody who will go to death match tournaments and just sit there and eat popcorn while I watch just bloodshed. And the reason I say it was too much is because look at the end result of them having to try to get it out. Nikki, you alluded to, like, you know, come on, it's time to get out of the ring, you know, things like that, and which it did. And that's Yuta, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He wasn't even able to rip it out. Like, you're a trained wrestler, and you can that was too much risk for not enough payoff. Because honestly, why are these two names even doing something like that for a promotion? This is not, it's like go to Seth Rollins talking about Steve Austin taking that suplex from Kevin Owens. I believe it was at a Mania that he did it.
Yeah.
38.
Yes. Okay. So Steve Austin, he takes that, lands on concrete. Seth Rollins says, in my age right now, they tell me to do that. I say, no, I'm not taking that bump. I'm not doing it. Austin did it, which, you know, for Austin to do that, more power to you, but this is too far. This could go into the spine. Like, those are spikes that could, and you're using your body weight onto, like,
An inch
It's a
this
bed of
way,
nails.
it's
It's a
an
bed of
inch
nails
this
these
way,
days,
an
yeah.
inch that way, you're fucked.
yeah. Yes.
If you lay too far, you arch your back the wrong way. Like, you have a wife, their baby is what, 5 at this point, 4? Like, bro, like, you don't need to do this anymore.
No.
And again, he won the match. So what did that accomplish? Again, we're asking you and your opinions, and I'm sorry, I'm also
No, you're perfectly fine. I like the way these conversations flow, because it's, to me, this is ridiculous. This is not a way to do this. Now, going on off of that, I was not a fan of CM Punk stepping in for Jack Perry using real glass, because honestly, that's a young kid. If he wants to use real glass and he wants to make it epic and do all that, let him do it. He's got to learn. People, we've all grown up. Did anybody ever tell you something that you were like, well, gee, mister, I'm going to take that advice and I'm not going to do that? Not until you became an adult and you were like, well, maybe I should listen because I've messed up so many times. Speaking of personal experiences here, this is too far. And you could have done so many more things that were more impactful. A flaming table has not died. It is still meaningful. Take a flaming table if you're going to do something like this. Like, I don't want to see people injured. And I think this was an easy way to get injured. And yeah, it was just not something I thought it was going to be up my alley, but no.
I had to hear from you, the master of extreme on this show, for us as well as yours.
Master of extreme. You guys make it sound like I got a basement and I just do light bulbs everywhere.
Alex has a better name for you, which is educator of extreme.
We don't know what goes on in that rocket ship.
Well, yeah, we do have an extreme.
The lack of air in that rocket ship, just all the ideas just blow out.
We mainline oxygen on that rocket ship. You know, we're just up there. Whoa.
You just never know. I need to get a still shot the next time you call it of your rocket ship for everybody.
I probably could come up with something, Nick. I think I could do something for you. Yeah, I could come up with something.
Oh, Josh. Belly laughed as usual. Before we let you go, give us your last shot.
All right, so fans, if you like what I brought to the table here, I provide a table myself Monday night, 7 p.m. Me, the Grunmeister, he is known as the Blue-Eyed Villain, and the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Calloway. We talk Monday Night Raw. We got a couple weeks here that we are at work when Raw goes, so we're just actually bringing questions on from the fans. We have a great question from another streamer out there, the Lou. He is having Dingle, his co-host, throw us a question. I hate Dingle. So come see what we have to say to that jerk and be a part of it. We love anybody who wants to jump in. That is 7 p.m. on Mondays. After that, Fridays today. So ECW watch along, that's what we do. me and House, we sit down, we watch ECW. We've had a couple of hiccups in the past couple of weeks. Kids, let me tell you about them. I can't because I don't have enough time here. But anyways, so we're going to get back onto that schedule. There's going to be a new time on that, maybe even a new date. So stay tuned for that because we're going to get back into that. And lastly, Sundays, you can come hang out with me and anybody in the In Your House crew. That's 12 afternoon, 12 p.m. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I always get confused on that one. Anyways, so come join us there. It's fun. And if you really, really like what I do, tomorrow, going to be having a conspiracy show. Come hang out. Come talk some weird stuff with us. Anything goes over there. Just be clothed. We need you to be clothed. We don't need weirdos. Just
Why do I
be
feel
clothed.
like
I feel like you're talking. Are you talking to?
have you been talking to
What? I will tell you this, Nick. The very first podcast I ever did with a buddy, and we went live. It was on Twitch. We were talking to a friend who we hadn't spoken to in a while, and in the middle of it, he decides to show his gooch. We definitely lost all the stream for that, and they blocked us for a couple days. So yes, clothes, wear them.
Yes, that's pretty fair. Yes, make sure you're clothed if you're going to go on any podcast,
That's
especially
true.
no
Shirts.
captions.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Only shirts.
No shirts, no shoes, no service.
Yeah.
that should be a new drop.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There we go. Well put. Well, Josh, pleasure as always. You, sir, are cut off. Nikki,
Yeah.
he's always bringing it.
I know. We love talking to him.
Yeah,
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
All right. Now let's make sure, because I want to make sure he Josh flies in, so I didn't make sure he caught his flight out.
Oh my God, Josh, we love you immensely. Thank you for calling. As always, we love you.
All right, Nikki, we got another regular on the line. Get ready.
We're ready.
Hold on, I got so many drops again.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Steven!
Good evening.
There he is.
Is this your Wilson? Are you being Wilson?
Hold on, can I do this? Let me see if I can do this. Nope. Nikki, remove you.
Heidi ho, neighbors. Where'd everybody go?
Steven, we love you.
Love it.
You know, the good thing about, never turning my camera on is I am exempt from the wearing clothes rule, if I so choose.
Don't threaten Josh with a good time.
I know what Steve's doing. Steve's just being ridiculous back
I
there.
drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh no. 5 beers. Oh no. 6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers.
Hey, what happens between a man and his couch is his own
Josh says he can hear your nakedness. Or maybe this is a better drop.
Yeah, as someone who has to see myself every morning, that's more accurate. Yeah.
Oh,
Steven, stop it.
That should be my alarm every morning.
No, stop it. Stop it right now. What are you drinking? What are you thinking, my dear?
Unbelievable.
Oh, just some tea. I thought this was supposed to be spring.
No.
Mm.
Surprise.
Yeah, no, it's cold.
Jokes on everybody.
Mm.
To piggyback on the suggestion that you can't tell jokes like that anymore. Sure, you can. I mean, have you seen South Park the last few years? Absolutely, you can do those jokes. You just need some strong support behind you.
Yeah. And a cartoon.
I mean,
Animation.
Yeah, animation is. Fair enough. Steve, what are you thinking this week?
What do we have this week? I don't know. I don't know where to begin, except let's go on some more about Moxley. We'll see if he's on the show next week. Maybe he takes the week off because he's having his back spackled. I mean, like, first of all, that loofah joke was great. I'm sorry. That's a. But anyway, enough about me.
Well, I'll find it. We'll find it somewhere.
Keep talking, Steve. Nick's gonna show it.
But I mean, this being on live TV, of course. I mean, what if he? Yeah, there it is. Yes, that must have been a heck of an itch. But like, what if the backdrop went wrong? Like, what if he? Unwillingly, of course, landed it on the back, landed on that thing on the back of his neck, or
his butthole.
Yeah, well,
yeah, right. That's a bad one.
I can relate. I've had Chipotle before, so. But I mean, there's just, Josh. Yeah, Josh was exactly right, and the ghost of Terry Funk is very sad today from this. I mean, there was just too many things that could go wrong, and these aren't thumbtacks. These are, even if these are fake nails, I mean, obviously they stuck in there for quite a while, and I hope that's enough to discourage them from at least trying something like this again. But I'm wondering, who? I don't think I have to wonder long as to whose idea this might have been to try this spot. But then you have the other people who are complicit in signing off on doing this spot. Well, there's certainly enough blame to go around.
Well, isn't there? Nick, you told me that, right? Like, Mox is kind of taking on a big backstage like booking role and things like that. So so he has much more. Yeah.
And also, they know that Tony, despite what he says, is afraid to say no. He's promised a lot of these bigger name wrestlers that they would have the bulk of their creative control, and if who I suspect came up with the idea for this spot is correct, this is something where Tony should have said no. There's just too many things to go wrong. I mean, do you want to have one of your wrestlers pull a Randy the Ram Robinson on live TV? I mean, no, it's not worth it.
No, it's not. And I just feel like they kind of made such light of it. Like, even like commentary, I feel like this one you need JR to freak the fuck out. No one was freaking out.
And they should have really just cut to commercial. While
Yuta was trying and Turner was trying, and then you Mox's fucking face, you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, very cringe, very cringe.
Yeah. So I hope, and I hope Renee read him the riot act in a major way.
I hope so. She put on Instagram the photo of the fucking spikes out of his back. She's like, "This is my emergency contact." I'm like, girl. Like, I know you're married to a wrestler, and I know she's married to a deathmatch wrestler, but this spot with your 4-year-old daughter doesn't seem fucking worth it.
Well, it just especially with just again, like, kids are still watching this. So it's like, just, people are going to imitate it.
I lost the sound. Damn it.
Oh, no. No, we lost them. No, I get to,
Don't break my
did I get to do the drop, though?
Steven.
Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh, oh. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh, oh.
All right, try and bring him back. I think this is the right one. Steve?
Steven.
Nope. All right, we'll try this one. He's got two.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God! Stop breaking my heart. And Josh is probably crying in the corner somewhere.
I'm sorry, I stepped on a Lego. So I know that face that Mox was making. It just, I mean, it's just, just hopefully they shy away from doing that. There's plenty of hardcore things they can do that aren't that. Hopefully lessons have been learned here.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know. You just never know. Steve,
Yeah.
before we let you go, what is, sir, your last
Sort of on a related note, I think this happened. I think the day after the last show you did, Vince Steele, the Vince Steele matter, died in the ring at a show. I think just in Ridgefield Park up here, and because they didn't want to have, maybe could have been rescued. Took the ambulance 45 minutes to get there because the promoter didn't want to have an ambulance on site because it's not required. Because Vince, the much more famous Vince, was successful in lobbying that pro wrestling was not part of included in anything covered under the state athletic commission. It's not a sport. It's sports entertainment. So they're not required to have an ambulance. Okay, that's fine. Just it's, condolences to Vince's family and friends, and anybody who had to see him pass away in the ring like that. And rest in peace, sir. But there's just, you should take, no matter how small time a promoter you are, you should take all the precautions possible to prevent something like that. I mean, come on, 45 minutes for an ambulance to get there. I mean, who knows if he could have been saved, but just something, just like with Moxley, some things you don't take chances with. Mm-hmm. And this is one of them. And 39 years old.
Yeah, it's a damn shame, and it raises light on a lot of those things. So it is.
Sorry to bring everything down. I just wanted to comment.
No. I'm really glad you brought that up, Stephen. To be perfectly honest, because it's Vince did so much that we love and adore, but he also made some stuff like, we obviously stupid shit like this, that like with the commissions, that this is a fucking sport. You're doing things, whether it's choreographed, kayfabe, whatever, people are still being physical in a ring and could get hurt, or something else can be triggered. He wasn't protected.
All because Vince wanted a tax break and didn't want to fall under the jurisdictions of state regulations.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
thanks, Vince.
Yeah, well, you set the bar, and that's that part is,
mm-hmm.
People will follow suit. Steve, pleasure as always having you.
Yes, back to happy stuff now.
Exactly. No, you always bring happy stuff.
We love it.
So we love having you, Steve. Like we always say here, you sir, cut off. Nikki, what a real ring a dong dandy.
Stephen forever.
What
All right, Nikki, we got someone on the line, a new caller to the show. Welcome to the bar. Reese, bring him in. Reese, welcome.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Are you muted?
You might be muted. We're having some mic issues.
I can hear you. There you go.
There we go.
Hello.
There we go.
My own personal
Yeah.
mic was off. That's my fault. There you go.
Welcome in,
I'll
Reese.
refrain.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking?
Depends on the conversation.
Hey, the floor is yours.
That's-
So welcome in. Hey, this is your
Scottish-
pleasure.
It's a Scottish way of thinking, pretty much. It's just like whatever's on your feet, you just think fast. I'll just
Love
lower
it.
my desk a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I think everyone's having a conversation, isn't it, about this whole debacle about Wednesday night and the main event of Dynamite. Or should I say, should have been the main event, but wasn't the main event because apparently a world title isn't a main eventer anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Well, to be fair, it's quite the open discussion on my own channel. So I seen you guys were live. And I was like, you know what, I'll pop in and say hello, see what's cooking. So it's always a foregone conclusion. I don't mind hardcore wrestling or extreme level of wrestling. I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since August 1999. So I've lived and breathed pro wrestling for nearly 30 years. If I ever see that. I think when you look at it in the sense of it, there's some things with this match you actually can praise, and there's some things you can actually critique in the right level. I think there is actual praisals and critiques on this match, but I think a lot of people are just forgetting the praisals because of what's on screen.
Yeah.
And I've seen like stuff from the 80s. I mean, I love 80s like classic 80s wrestling. I love watching ECW when ECW actually meant something. I dig it, a human being that nobody pays attention to anymore. And I've seen obviously what goes on in the modern era, and I think when you look at the match itself, pro wrestling is meant to be an escape for fans, and I think that's something that many people don't want to have, or they don't want to reciprocate anymore. For me personally, I think I agree with the comment that was said there. Was that by Steve? Sorry, I think that was his name. It was on just beforehand. Was it Steve? I do agree with one thing he did say. Though I thought the use of Spike was fantastic, but I disagree. And I disagree with the involvement they had to go from the suplex on the back. But I 100% agree. Even if they were real or fake, if that goes wrong and that's in the back of his neck, that's him impaled. Like, that's him impaled in his neck. Like, that will cause limitless amount of harm. Like, we would not know the circumstance. So, I mean, I was there, like, TNA actually meant something. I'm still a TNA fan, but I was there when it meant something, when Abyss was doing the exact same thing. I remember Janice when Janice meant something. And that was the same, thing. Like, if you actually look at it, it was spiked. It was a spiked 2x4.
Yep.
And he used that sumbitch, excuse the language, but he used it in the circumstance that mattered. Obviously, RVD never took it to the face or the back of the neck, but he took it to the ribs. It was done well. I think when you're looking at it in this way, the only thing that they did wrong, in my opinion, is you're pulling it out on camera. I think doing the suplex on Spike, great spot. I actually think that's a great spot. But when you're mistiming it, I don't think that's a botch from Moxley's perspective. I'm actually going to throw it the other way around. I think it's a botch on Copeland. I am not calling him Cope. I think that's embarrassing. But he can cope with this. He botched that move. If you actually look at his movement on the suplex, he's actually shuffling his left leg. He's actually I had to go back and just watch that. He's shuffling his left leg. So even he doesn't know where he's meant to be positioned. So I think he's actually mistimed that. He's got it wrong. Moxley's Moxley, because he's a bit in this way, he is Mux in this case, or Mushley, I'll call him from now on. In Moxley's perspective, he's having to shift his body in a suplex which he should be doing anyway. So I actually think it was intended to do it this way, but they got it massively wrong. And when you're pulling it out on camera and you can see it's pulling off his flesh, it doesn't matter who's watching that. That's not going to be well reciprocated by anybody.
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't have done it on camera. I think they should have at least tried to do it. But then when they see it failing, you cut away. Like, you cut away to do something else. Like, you go to the crowd. I'm not bored. I mean, I've seen the match that will never be seen again on TV. I've watched Terry Funk versus Sabu and the the no ropes barbed wire match that is described as the most brutal wrestling match of all time. I've watched I watched the match where Mick Foley ripped his ear off. Like, I've seen all that. I've watched Jim Cornette I would say try to be a man, but his blood pressure is always skyrocketing. So who knows? But I've seen him. I won't make jokes on anybody. I can't help myself.
Please.
But I've seen him fall like Pee Wee Herman off a scaffolding and break his legs. So like I've seen it all. Like, this sort of spot doesn't make me squeamish. It just makes me a little bit concerned that why would you try to continue to pull it off on TV when it's already failed?
Well, that to me is the problem that I have with a lot of like what AEW does, is that the production value is it's not, and let's be honest, it's not going to be anything like what WWE is. Yeah. But you can be light, and that's the problem. Like, I feel like some of the production, they missed it. Like even like I'm thinking back now as we're talking about just like production stuff, like the Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, like backflip
the
off
double
backflip off the scaffolding, like that spot. You know that spot's coming, and everything, like, their timing was off, yes, but everything else about that was off too. Like the camera angles and everything that was set up by it was just terribly done. And that's the problem. Like, to your point, it's like I don't know that the talent is there to do it, or they don't plan it out right, or just there's a miss on both sides.
I honestly don't know, but I've seen, because I'm well glued in mostly with my channel through social media as well, so I'm well adversed in all that, and I don't like the narratives that people are throwing. So the one narrative I don't like is people are blaming this spot solely on Tony Khan. Now, I don't care about the individual or the booker, but I actually don't think you can put the blame on this. Like, obviously it's his company and he is the booker, but Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland have been in the business for well over 20 years each. You know what I mean? Like, they're veterans. Like, they've clearly mapped this out themselves as a match. Khan's just authorized it. But even like in this circumstance, I don't think you can physically blame him. But yet it's the social media narrative. It's his company. Let's blame Tony Khan, instead of actually thinking, I don't know, who is responsible? Even like, I don't even know what agent was involved in this match.
Well, I think that's the thing. It's like, I think, and Nikki kind of touched on this earlier, it's just like, I don't think he knows how to say no. And I think that's just the problem. It's like, he's such a fan, and that's what we love about him too, is that like,
absolutely.
Like, you're going to book all these matches we want to see, but also there's a level of like, it's almost like, you know, you talk about like being like, as managing people, like, it's like you want to be somebody's like friend and like advocate, but you also you have to draw a hard line somewhere. And I don't think he knows, because he's like, well, I'm not a wrestler. I haven't been in the business as long, so like I trust your judgment, but their judgment isn't necessarily right. Like, no matter what level it is, whether it's a wrestler, like I remember like we talked about this like with Vince Russo, like being under Vince McMahon. It's like he was a great writer, but he had Vince McMahon that toned it back for him, so that all his crazy ideas, some of them would work, but they just need to be just like toned down a little bit, and that's what works. It's like you just need someone to say like reel in the reins just a little bit. Like 75% of what you're doing will work.
Yeah.
I'm worried that they have too many cooks and then also not enough cooks at the same time. That it's like, we want to do a thing, and then Tony's like, well, I'm going to let them do whatever they want. And then like you do have like what agents are back there, like you have Pat Buck. They're supposed to be his name is slipping my brain. I can see him. He kind of looks like DDP.
Not Dean Malenko.
No, well, Dean Malenko's back there. Jerry Lynn. And she's like, all these other people are supposed to be back there. I don't.
There's one other that I'm surprised even like you wouldn't get involved with. Where's Jake Roberts in this situation? Like, he's by far the most experienced member of that entire company, apart from Jeff Jarrett. Like, this is why I've said for a long time, I think Tony Khan, like, generous guy, like, in terms of like what he does for charity and other pro wrestlers and dying needs. I mean, he donated money to Dutch Mantel. I mean, I quite like watching Dutch Mantel's podcast, but he donated his GoFundMe when he was in hospital. So, like, you can tell that Tony Khan really does care for the business, even if it's people that generally will go heavy criticism on him and his company. He still tries to show the human element to himself, but I think he does have his flaws, and I think everybody does. I think he has his flaws as a booker. I think there's times where he does say no, but then I think when he does say no, he doesn't know how to offer an alternative solution, and I think that's the problem. And I have the same issue, ironically, with Levesque. I have the same issue with Levesque. I think he's too often saying yes, but his alternative ideas don't particularly work. And I look at it in the sense of, I think there's not enough great. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but I don't actually think there's a lot of good bookers in pro wrestling anymore on like an actual consistently top level. And I think when you look at like great bookers, like, weirdly enough, at his disposal, Tony Khan has got one already, and he's using them to do promoting shows like for where they're going. He's got Jeff Jarrett in the wrong job. If I was Tony Khan, I've got all the money in the world. Jeff Jarrett, you're my head writer, you're my booker. I will give you whatever the heck you want. You are in charge of my company. Get your writing team in who you want, and you can do it. The guy done it for 6 years at TNA, and he turned him into a better product than WWE, in my opinion, for that entire period of the late 2000s.
They did have good points, and with a bigger budget, it'd be interesting to see what could do. I just don't think he's ever going to give up the final, like the pen, like the final, and that's the problem. Is just like if everything is like sometimes like even like when Vince McMahon was in WWE, it's like you need to be able like. Paul Heyman was a writer for SmackDown for how many years? And it's like you need to be able to say his show, let him run it the way he's going to run it, and see what happens.
So I don't think that's my connection. I completely agree with you. I don't think there's any fault to that. I think the best part of being, and well, we guys as content creators, we listen to our audience. If you don't listen to your audience, even as an owner or any form of any sort of position you're in or any industry, if you don't listen to your audience, if you don't listen to your customers, you can't get better. Even if you actually are doing well, you cannot get even better if you don't listen. I love that smoking skull belt. That is nice.
Actually, sorry. Someone just literally. This is the caveats of doing live. TV
I haven't put mine on the wall. I haven't put mine on the wall. I've still got more to get. To be fair, I'm adding to my collection, but yeah, I've got mine behind me.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to do it. So we got that one about a year and change ago because we talked about different things that we down here. So we do the show from our basement and our basement bar here, and we're talking about we have a lot of there's like a lot of American, like it's hard for me to turn here, but like American football stuff. Nikki just had to answer the door. But so we have a lot of different stuff here, and we have like Ric Flair, and we did. Ironically, it's the fun thing. One of the reasons we started the show is Nikki and I got engaged on the Jericho cruise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the second Jericho cruise we went on, and I got to give credit to a friend of the channel, a friend of the show, Ben. He's like, "You're going on a cruise." He's like, "Take your wife." He's like, "Your wife likes wrestling. You like wrestling. Or like your girlfriend. You should propose to her on a cruise." And I'm like, "All right, that sounds like a pretty good idea." Us and 2,000 other wrestling fans. It was a great experience. Opportunity. It's kind of like if you've ever been to like any a concert festival. It's similar to that, just on a boat.
Yeah,
which is kind of neat. But yeah, it's definitely. I encourage anyone that has the opportunity to go on the Jericho cruise. Is definitely a unique experience, and apparently, like we researched this just prior to going on. They had done those cruises back in like the early 90s, and it originally started with Hulk Hogan.
Wouldn't surprise me. That guy
Yeah.
would do anything to make money. Well, either to make money or to make more lies.
Yeah, it's well, as I'm sure you heard about. He's the I guess the ShopRite assassin of the United States, just going around to all the all the stores, and it's not really going well for Hulk Hogan at this point.
My family's been fans of pro wrestling since I would say 19. Mind you, it's in the UK, so it's very limited for TV. I would say just before 1980. I would say my granddad got into wrestling, and then obviously my mom they had her through that. My mom hasn't watched wrestling since 2007. She was like, "Fuck this, I'm done," because John Cena obviously over pushed on TV, but so. My gran was an Ultimate Warrior fan.
Oh, that was my guy. That was for a little. I don't know why, just the energy.
Yeah, so my gran was an Ultimate Warrior fan. My granddad had more sense. He's a Randy Savage fan.
Woo!
So
there you go.
My guy.
So I got into when I got into wrestling during the Attitude Era. So I watched Backlash 99 live as a 2-year-old with my granddad, my gran, and my mum. They was watching Backlash live in the UK, and then obviously the following night I watched Raw for the first time, and then obviously I got my first Nitro. Then obviously a week later was my first time seeing the guy I eventually become a huge fan of, Sting. Sting wins the world title on my birthday. Absolute dope. So that was fun. I love Sting, and I was at both All-Ins for his appearances as well, so it was even better. So I got to go to both All-In Wembley shows for that, so that was a pleasure. But
it's been a fun run for them to kind of put him out.
Oh,
I mean, they gave him a nice last send off for sure.
Absolutely, I hope he gets to go. I hate the fact that people are. It's become another narrative about it's who's saying who can't do it. I mean, it's Lex Luger's personally asking for this. They've got to let him do it. But if this doesn't happen, I will genuinely be disgusted. But it's reality. But so obviously I got to see all that. I listen to. I'm a big fan of the man who never lies in pro wrestling. I am a Bret Hart fan amongst anything else.
I'm wearing my Heart Foundation shirt. No, wrong way. No, I tried.
Well, I do watch Japanese wrestling, but I don't do what Meltzer does and lies about it. But I do watch Japanese wrestling, so I'm wearing my LIJ shirt because that's my deal. So but yeah, so like Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, they're most of some of my all-time favorites. So I got into based on them. So but I got to see all that. So like I said, I've seen pro wrestling at its best. I've seen pro wrestling at its worst, and I'm still living through pro wrestling at its worst. Because I don't think pro wrestling is as good as people think it is. I think people are just happy to see. I think people are just happy to see that people are making money from the business, but they're not making money from anything that's remotely enjoyable. And this is why I laugh. I don't know if you guys talk about this on your own podcast, but I personally do not care about a ratings discourse. You know, I'm not. I don't work for TV networks. I don't work for Netflix. I don't work for Max. I don't care how much ratings a TV company breaks in. I mean, I'm a TNA fan. We rake in 120K apparently on average. I don't care. For me personally, you can have a great product, but you can have really bad ratings, or you can have really good ratings, but you can have a really bad product. So obviously, I understand ratings are important, but I generally don't care. But I like the fact that people will use every little bit of excuse to go, "Oh, this company dropped this week," but then I'm like, okay, so they've dropped ratings, but I actually like what they did on the show, or there's some things that WWE does I personally don't like, but there's some things AEW does I really don't like. But people think it's a tribal thing. I'm like, it's nothing to do with tribal. I'm a viewer. It's my opinion.
Right, and that's the problem. I tend to agree with you there. It's like you can have a better show, but it appeals to a lesser of an audience, right? Like it's like I don't watch
Exactly.
The Bachelor. Doesn't I think I'm just using an example. Like Bachelor is one of the highest rated shows. Doesn't mean like
It's a
do I
good
think
show.
yeah, it doesn't mean it's a good show at all. But it gets millions of viewers, so it's gonna be on TV for years. It was on TV for years and years in the United States.
Exactly.
Like, it's the same thing. It's like just because like law of averages, if you have you can have 3 million viewers, right?
Yep.
And in total, but only 500,000 watch, and it's a low show for you, but you have a good, better value. Comparatively, like something like ECW is on at 3 a.m. can have 150,000 viewers, or TNA as you kind of put it, and that's a great show for them, audience wise. There's different metrics on how you want to measure it.
Exactly. Obviously people are going to use like the higher ratings as a success, and obviously it does stem from it, but here's the ultimate metric, and this is what makes me laugh about particular online accounts and online media or anyone in general. I like that people will come at AEW, for example, if they say, oh, they did 658,000 this week, oh, it was lower than NXT, for example. Okay, cool. Oh, Raw did 1.5 million this week. Oh, it was a success. And I'm sitting there going, how is that a success when Raw did 10 million in 1999 with a segment between Vince McMahon and Steve Austin?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I love these narratives. Like TNA are never, like, as I can say this comfortably, TNA are never going to see 1 million viewers again on a single episode of Impact. I can say that with chest. WWE are never going to have another episode of Raw that's going to get over 10 million. They're never going to get another episode of Raw that's going to get close to 6 million because they've already lost 5 million viewers. But that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is the content actually good enough, even if it's live, or if I'm watching it back because I can't be bothered watching at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like,
and it'll speak to that. It'll speak to everyone. It's just like it's kind of like a movie, right? Like you hear about it later. It's like, oh, only X amount of people watched, but this is a cult classic because it was that good, and that's the idea. It's
exactly. And I think that narrative is just lost, and I think that's why people are constantly using it as their way to explain it. And I'm like, there's no need. Like, I can ask you right now, like, who's your top 5 favorite wrestlers in pro wrestling right now, male or female? And measure that is what you base your content on. And I think that's how it should be. You know what I mean? So, and I think people just don't have that narrative anymore. It's always, oh, this company done it great, but then when the other company does the same thing, it's immediately terrible. And I'm like,
yeah, it's on-demand viewing. That's what we're in now. It's whatever you like.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn or anything, but I feel like we talk about both companies. We talk about like this was good, but they did this shitty. I just want good wrestling. I just want there to be options for wrestlers to do a thing. We always say all the tides raise all the ships. Just fucking support wrestling. We love wrestling. Support the thing.
Well,
off my soapbox.
So Reese,
exactly.
We got her on our soapbox, and now we got. So Reese, before we hope you join us next time. Thanks for chiming in. Yeah. We call it at the bar here the last shot. So what is your last takeaway, your last shot, and where can everybody find you? I know you have a podcast here.
First of all, since you've asked, my podcast is called The Weekly Steel Chair. I cover a variety of wrestling review shows, gaming streams, sometimes watch-alongs depending on where I'm at. But yeah, The Weekly Steel Chair. And a hot take for me is pro wrestling will never be as big as it was 20 years ago, but pro wrestling to you should be important regardless. You don't need to be tribal to enjoy pro wrestling.
Agreed.
Well
just enjoy the thing.
Mm-hmm. Reese, pleasure having you on. We'll hope to catch you next time. We are back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great contribution. We love having new friends at the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese, you, sir, are cut off. Nikki, making new friends.
We're making new friends.
Speaking of which, make sure you click the like and subscribe before on your way out. As we like to say here, hit the old Samoan spike on the like. And we are running a little overtime here, Nikki. So
good that we have it recorded.
Yeah, we do have it recorded. So get through some couple last comments. Well, Thanks for coming on, Reese.
I know. It's so great having you. New friends.
Join the community. We love having you. And he hit the sub button. There we go. Welcome back. New friends. We got all new friends in this community. We love having it. The Firefly Funhouse. Our Firefly Funhouse that we built here.
The bar. To the bar.
Josh says a soapbox of triggering topics that you have.
Girl.
Josh, you wait till next Friday. She's coming at you. She has a whole week of aggression to take out of you.
No, it's fine. I got it. I got you.
He also doesn't think Luger deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. I guess for his WCW stuff, certainly not for his WWE.
I just think at this.
But then again, there's people who have.
I think maybe we can do a separately Hall of Fame thing. But I think at this point, Triple H is just inducting people to piss Vince off.
Which is ironic because it's his son. So.
Yeah, you're still a piece of shit. I don't know. I'm off my triggering soapbox.
Steve cares about the Dan House. It's like, I don't know, we're over 600 subs now, and then I've lost the Dan.
No, they're somewhere.
Oh no, I found them. We found these bad babies.
You're so bad at this.
Hold on.
You're so bad at these. When Nick. Number Nick picks this time. Maybe you can win these little Danhausen socks.
I know you might be. There's also.
Evil.
And I don't want to do this because I might have to give this because like our regulars might get special privileges. Because I know someone who might want some of these.
Ultimate Warrior.
A little Ultimate Warrior bandana action.
Oh my God! Stop, Josh. We're talking about you.
I know that could be you. That could be you.
That could
in
be
the Ultimate Warrior bandana
on
Monday night in the In Your House podcast. It could be you, Josh, with that Ultimate Warrior bandana. Just saying. He says I love the flag.
Or do you love the bandana or both? Who's to say? Very nice or evil.
I think Josh, Reese might get the socks, and then Josh is going to be really upset.
This should have been me. It should have been me. It should have been me.
For how long that is.
It's still probably the only thing I remember Dolph Ziggler for. That and like dating.
Fuck up.
I know he did the cash in, and I know he dated Vicky.
I literally can't. Shut this down. I'm gonna have to fight you in the streets.
When I think
stop saying Laura with the don't even with Biggie.
Loves it. We got winner, chicken dinner, drop dinner. But yes, as we go towards, before I forget, as we go towards talking about promos, next Friday is our next show. 6 p.m. Eastern time, whatever that correlates to you. Talking to you, Reese, new caller, overseas. I don't know. Time is hard. Math is hard. If there's anything that we learned from Scott Steiner over the course of his career, it is that math is super duper hard. And I'm not gonna, I was gonna play drop, but
3 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice.
Fun fact: Scott Steiner said he talked to like an engineer or like some mathematician, and he said that they actually somehow mathed out.
Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. I'm not a math person by any means. You know this.
He said 12:06 a.m. So he's glad they're alive. So what is that? 8 plus 4.
Well, you just talked about fucking math.
4. Math is hard.
I don't have the brain that you do.
But I know. Well, that was a drop. I had to wait. Yeah, Scott Steiner is awesome. I had to wait for that drop. So that being said, it's been a great one. New friends in the show this week.
Oh, my babies.
Next week, 1, 2 more. Next week, next Friday, we have the play-in rounds, the final play-in rounds, March Madness, Mania Madness, the main events of WrestleManias 1 through 40. We're breaking it down to a 32 main event bracket that we will then do next Sunday.
Macho
last
Man
Sunday
shirts
in
for
March.
days.
So the idea is that everyone votes on it. So here, get a little kick of it. All right. All right, Nikki.
Yes, baby.
So let's take us out with our not so CCO Triple H. Until next time. So he's just so eloquent with his words. So let's let him take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight, Nikki.
Yes, baby.
Another night without incident.
Debatable.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you have incidents. I mean, some people have an instance. Josh was triggered.
I know. Josh, I'm sorry.
Poor Josh.
You'll be okay, baby.
He'll come back with his
You'll be
face.
okay, I promise.
He's going to spend some time
You got some tough skin. You're the water underneath Nick's and Steven's wings. You're great.
Unbelievable. So, until next time, you do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. And goodbye.